Ever since I started playing guitar, my husband has said to me repeatedly, "You're never going to be Janis Joplin." And he's right. That's true. But it did get me thinking about, if I'm not going to be Janis Joplin, I'm not going to be famous, why am I playing guitar? Later in this video, I will share why I keep coming back to music. So I'm not Janis Joplin. I'm not standing on stage at Woodstock singing to thousands of people. I don't have a voice like hers that's raw and gritty and really this high energy and emotion filled voice. And Janis also really led the way for women artists who are playing guitar in both rock and blues that at that particular time was very male dominated. And really, she was a trailblazer for women. Overall, her sound was just a once in a generation type of sound. So then, how am I different? Well, I'm not famous. I'm really not that good at guitar. I enjoy writing songs, but I really still have a lot to learn. Let's be clear, the reality is I'm not just a musician. I have a lot of other aspects to my life. I'm a mom. I work full time. I really only started as a musician really later in life. And right now I'm learning in between all the other things that are going on in my life. And so while I like music, it's not the only thing that defines me. What are the things that would make me similar to Janis Joplin? At first, I just thought, wow, they can't be really anything. But in some ways, there are some similarities. So just like any other musician, I came to a point where I wanted to play guitar, and I love to learn to play guitar, not because I have to be the best, but just because I have to. I have this desire to learn. And it's also because something I need to share with the rest of the world, whether that's songwriting or playing a song. So when I sing, even if it isn't perfect, I feel like I'm telling a story and I'm telling some sort of truth to share with others. Janis didn't always sound perfect either. She sang to share a feeling, to make other people feel what she was feeling. And I think that emotional side of music is not something that just famous people hold. Any musician is going to have that similar feeling where they want to show up and share that emotional side of the music. And personally, I never thought about playing guitar as a woman when I was younger. But now that I do play, I encourage others to play. And this is actually a similarity. Janis Joplin played electric guitar in rock and blues bands in a time when it was very male dominated, and a lot of others have followed in her footsteps. So whether she did that on purpose or, she was just being herself, she definitely has inspired others. I guess telling emotional stories and showing that women can do anything, these are things that I think I did have in common with Janis Joplin. If you like this video, please like, comment, or subscribe. Thanks for supporting my channel. Something that I think all musicians share is this idea of struggle, that there's always this element of trying to be better, trying to learn more. And sometimes I doubt myself too, just like anyone else. I'm sure Janis Joplin also doubted herself at times, especially early on. And for me, I know, I'll hear my voice and I'll think, this just isn't that good. It's not loud. My voice isn't projecting enough, or I hit sort of a flatness in my voice. And I will always compare myself to other people. And these other people have been doing a lot of these things their whole lives. Celebrities like Taylor Swift or Bob Dylan. Sometimes it's the realization that you don't have to be the same as them, but you can use them to inspire you. And so sometimes I have to tell myself to just stop comparing myself to others, and just, it's a race for yourself in some way. It's a journey for yourself. So how do you do that? I don't think I'm alone in that. I think a lot of people who play guitar or some other instrument, they have to tread their own path. They have to go their own way. And I think every person who creates something, and whether that's this tension between this thing that matters, the idea that maybe you're just not enough, what is the point of playing and why am I doing it? You always have to come back to that and clarify why you're really struggling and get to the root of why you showed up in the first place. So why do I keep playing if I'm never going to be Janis Joplin? I think because maybe my goal never was to be her or really any other celebrity. That was not the reason that I took up singing and songwriting. My goal is just to be my own musician and my own songwriter and have my own take on how to write songs or how to interpret other songs. And so bringing my own view and perspective in creating music, whether it's singing covers or singing your own songs, writing original songs, it can be just what makes you happy and what gives you enjoyment. It doesn't have to be anything more than that. And that's sort of where I'm at this point. People like Janis Joplin don't exist in the world to make us feel like less or small. And they really exist to help remind us that when you believe in yourself, things are possible and that you can just be yourself and be different from others. And that uniqueness is what carries you forward. And honestly, the people who inspire me now the most aren't always the most famous. Some people who they're on their upward trends of, getting bigger audiences or smaller artists, I think. And they're the ones who they keep playing, they keep showing up, they're trying new things, they're testing new songs on new audiences and just trying anything that they can. And they're practicing whether people are watching them or not. As it turns out, I'm never going to be Janis Joplin, so my husband is actually right about that. But it doesn't mean that I can't play and enjoy music. I can just be myself and do the things that make me happy and that I get enjoyment from. I would love to hear who inspires you to keep going and playing guitar. So if you could share that in the comments below, that would be great. If you enjoy being inspired to keep playing guitar, please check out my other videos, and I will see you next time.
Smile, smile at me. Smile, smile at me. Smile, smile at me. It's what I need. Join me for a while. Stay until you need to go. How did you know